What's happening? And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I always do every day, especially during the week. What's going on? How are you all doing today? I hope you are doing well. It's a beautiful day in Teaneck, New Jersey. It's beautiful out. It's just so autumn-like. I'm not used to having all the trees around me and the trees in front, trees in the back, trees in the streets, trees everywhere, and they're just showing off their splendor of autumn. And it's so beautiful to watch and observe every morning. Every morning is a good day to see the wonderful experience of autumn. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. All is well. Today is what? Election day. I do have applause, right? I do have my own applause in here. Maybe I should just use them, right? Use my applause. Let me roll down there and use the applause, right? It is election day. Election day. It is here. It is here. Bravo, bravo, bravo. It is election day. So how many of you guys have gone out and vote today? First of all, how many people have voted, period? Because like myself, I voted last week for early voting. I did early voting. How many people went out today on election day, but have also already voted? And Adrian voted today. I was so happy and so proud of him. He walked in, he knocked on the door and said, "Guess what? I did my civic duty." And I said, "Yes, I am all about the voting. I believe in voting. You should never, ever miss voting. I don't care if you are, like, if I'm overseas, I will be back to vote. I mean, voting is your citizenship. It is your civic duty. You are an American or whatever country you live in. If you're voting, if you have votes, you should be participating in the system. You should be participating in the government, participating in democracy. Democracy. Yes, I know it feels like we don't have a democracy. It's slipping away, but the more folks get out there and vote, the less it will slip away. We are the people. We have control. We can turn this thing around. We could stop these fools. Yes, we can. We can stop them. If every person participated in democracy, we could stop them. We could stop them. So everyone, get out there and vote. I don't care what the weather is like. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's storming. I think across the country, the weather's pretty good. There's no like snowstorms. There's no big cold spell. This is a perfect election day across the country. Yeah, it's a couple of showers here and there, but it's a good weather. Good weather to get out and vote. Okay, who's in the building? Well, also today we will be talking about. Remember, today is Tip Tuesday. So today we'll be talking about photo series ideas. In this particular one, we'll be talking about the world in blue. But it could be the world in green, it could be the world in red, it could be the world in yellow. But today we're going to narrow it down to photo series ideas. And one of those ideas is the world in blue. So we're going to be talking about that later on. The world in blue. Oh, I see somebody here from the LinkedIn audience. LinkedIn is in the building. What's going on, Jonas? I see you, but let me say hello to all the folks. Get the wrong one up. What's going on here? Hold on. Wait, there we go. I'm back. Here we go. Let's go. Hannah is in the building. She says, "Good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. And that is Hannah with the gold. The silver goes to Kelly A. Good morning, everyone. And the bronze goes to Adrian. Can't believe it. He made it to the top three. He made it to the top three. And I see all the love and encouragement from you guys. Jazzy Jazz is in the building. She says, good morning, beautiful people. And also, Jazzy will be on Gwendolyn's show, which is coming up. I was on my, maybe I need to find that little piece a little. I had it on my screen. Yeah, Gwendolyn's has a big event coming up, and Jazzy is going to be there. She is interviewing Jazzy. Let me see if I can bring it on the screen. If not, I'll get it out here sometime at some point today. And y'all know when Gwendolyn has those conversations, she does an amazing job with them. So again, Jonas, thank you. Welcome from the Jonas is from LinkedIn. Nice to see you. And Kimmy Kim is in the building. Hi, everyone, she says. And also, who else is in the building? And Kelly says, wow, I've been looking at blue furniture for my living room. Well, now you're getting ready to mix, maybe, Kelly, yay, maybe you will venture and take photos. If blue is your theme, you can create your own photos for your wall. You can create your own photos for your wall. So let's say you get your blue furniture. And then now you need some blue art. You can go out or walk around your apartment, set up some things in blue. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And you can take photos of these items. And if they look really good in photo, then you can send them off to a place like Nation's Photo Lab. Go to Nation, send it out to Nation's Photo Lab. I use them a lot. Nation Photo Labs. And then you can get it printed in Canva. Like Canvas, I say Canva. Canvas. You can get it canvas. You can get it on metal. You can get it on glass. And you can create your own works by using your smartphone, or if you want to step it up to a bigger camera, you can do that too. But your smartphone is good enough to create artwork for your own apartment. You just got to have the guts to do it. Just do it. This is a photography community and creative community, right? I always try to encourage you photographers out in the world to get out there and photograph your world. You do not have to go out and buy something expensive from someone else if you have an eye for photography. Get out there, photograph a thimble on a white surface, a blue thimble on a white surface, and then blow it up and make a beautiful piece of abstract art or minimalist art. You can do it. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We'll be talking about the blue. Blue. Having a series is so important. Let's see who else is in the building. Oh, Dr. Chris is in the building. Mr. Chris Edwards says, good morning, Touch Base Daily family. Mr. Chris Edwards, my brother in crime, and also in everything great. Love Mr. Chris. And Gwendolyn is in the building. She says, oh, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Okay, who are the voters in the building? Any voters? I'm not going to say who has not voted. Who has voted? Who? I would like to know. Who has voted? Bryson's in the building, and Bryson says, what's up, Ron? What's up, everybody? Happy Election Day. Everybody, hope everyone is out there and what? Vote. Vote. Don't complain. Vote. Like Obama says when the rallies, when they start saying boo, he says, don't boo, vote. I get a kick out of when he does that. Don't boo, vote. Don't complain, vote. Vote, y'all, vote. Okay. Kimmy Kim says, nice. And it says, good, happy morning, Chris. And G says, I've added my art to my parents and my walls. I'm telling you. And for you photographers out there, the best compliment you can give to yourself is to put your photos on your wall. It's something magical about taking your photos from the computer screen or your smartphone and putting it on paper. Paper, looking at it on beautiful, glossy or matted paper, then put it in a frame. If you are a photographer and you have not printed your work, well, try it. It will change your perspective of how you see your work. It will give you new confidence. When you see your own work on the wall, you're like, wait a minute, I can do this thing. And it just makes you better. It makes you feel better. Yep, there it is. See, G says it's the best feeling ever for photographers. Yes. Or let's say someone creates fashion and someone is wearing your dress, someone's wearing your jacket, someone's wearing your sweater. It feels good when your product, something that you created with your hands, with your brains, with your creativity, is out in the world for the world to see. And that people walk by and say, oh, I like this. Kimi says, I love abstract art. You can create it. You can create it with your camera. You can walk to the beach. I'm talking to the blue, so we're talking blue today. You see, I got my blue turtleneck and blue hat. It's all about blue today. Today is a blue day. Blue is a great color. Blue is a great color. But look, so let's say you go to the beach. There's no people on the beach today. If you live near a beach or some sandy area, go out and buy a blue bucket. Well, take a blue sweater and just throw it out onto the sand and then photograph it. You'll be surprised how beautiful it looks, especially if you do it near the sunset. Like, we say maybe not the blue hour, but you could do it in the blue hour, but do it in the golden hour. The golden hour, the hour before the sunset. Okay, I know I'm getting into the lesson I'm getting into this lesson without getting into this lesson. Let me stay focused. Okay, stay in focus. Stay focused. Okay, Kimmy Kim says, vote. Vote. Kelly A says, okay, Ron, she's with me. She's going to go out. She's going to go and create something. Take that smartphone out and create something. Jazzy says, there is no vote in my county, but if you are in Annapolis or PG County, Maryland, get out and vote. New York City, we are having a masterful election today. Virginia, you are having a masterful voting today. Oh, what goes on in Virginia is going to really send some shockwaves. What's going on in New York, if Zoran wins, and I already told you, I already voted for Zoran. I know you're not to tell people how you vote, but I don't care. You know how I feel. I'm just very transparent with you all. Zoran is the man. And I'm going to give you reasons why. Well, I shouldn't probably tell you the reasons why, but yeah, I was just looking at Don Lemon's show. It was so good. But there was a period segment. I just had to pause it and then say, oh, this is going to be good for our community to hear. So we're going to zero in on that because, like I said yesterday, I'm just giving you my reasons. Is that the wonderful Cuomo should have just simply rode off into the sunset. He would have had his reputation intact, a little blemishes, but he would have been okay. Now he is going to be bruised forever. He didn't accept no from the people when the people said no to him in the primary. He felt he was better than the people. And now he's in the race for as an independent. Sounds familiar? All these folks that can't run on their tickets and then they become independents. Hmm. Remember Mayor Adams? Like I said, he's done some good things for the city. But Mayor Adams, his big problem is when he left the Democrat Party and just didn't try to not. First of all, he was a Republican first, then became a Democrat, then became a Democrat, then became an independent. So you people cannot trust you when you are moving with the wind for your own, you know, your own what you want for yourself, your own selfish desires. Just doesn't work. It does not work. Antonio says, good morning. Good morning, Antonio. Anthony Rowland is in the building. Cass Lou is in the building. Make sure you hit the likes. If you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Cass Lou says, blessings all. 2 days in a row. 11-11. Wow. Just observation. Is that the time you keep popping in? You keep popping in here at 11-11? Bryson says, don't complain and stop complaining either. If you don't vote, we don't want to hear it. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Don't complain. Vote. Bryson says, what's up, Jazzy? G says, let me get G's on. She said, we invested in a Samsung frame about a year ago, and now I switch up dining room photos seasonally. Have y'all? Do you guys know about the frames that you can put, like TVs, and you can put a frame around your TV, and then you can have a program in your TV that is a monitor that acts like, you can put your artwork on. You can go and set up your TV that your photography is on rotation on your TV and get a nice, I'll show you. When I get to North Carolina, I'll show you. When I'm in North Carolina, my buddy, Nia, she decided she had a little section. She put the TV up, and then I put the frame up around it. She and her husband and I, we put the frame up, put it around the TV. And now when no one's looking at TV, the art is on display of different artists that we love. And you program it. You could do so much in the world we live in. Again, technology is on your side. Don't run from technology. Embrace it. Okay. Anthony says, every time I open my office door or walk into a friend's house and see my work, it's the best thing. Photographers, wake up to this. You will feel better about your work. It will motivate you to photograph more. Okay. Cass says, Tenacious Tuesday, Tip Tuesday, ready. She's ready for her Tip Tuesday. Hannah says, good morning, Anthony Rowland. Hannah says, good morning. Okay, Bryson also. Bryson's out. Bryson is talking today. Are y'all hearing Bryson? He said, if y'all in New York City, New Jersey, Virginia, and California, and go vote for Prop 50. Yes, vote for Prop 50. And if you're in New York City, make sure you flip that ballot over so you can vote for better housing for New York City. Turn that thing over. I think it's questions 2, 3, 4, and 5. Say yes to better housing in New York City. Adrian says, Cuomo thought this was a path to the presidency. Not so. There is rumors. There is rumors in the polls that say he might come in last. Woohoo! Wouldn't that would be shocking. I mean, if he does come in last, that would be shocking. And was it Sweetwall? Sweetwall may beat him because if the Republicans come out, they're going to support their Republican candidate. That would be that would be a rough history day in New York City that Cuomo became an independent and lost, totally lost. Ooh, for us political junkies, that is going to be something to be talked about. Anthony Rowland says Nikki Haley is a politician that moves like that. Yes, she is. She's another chameleon. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, chameleon. They come and go. They come and go. The chameleons, just moving with the wind, just not setting up a standard, not setting up what they believe in. You can complain about AOC, you can complain about Bernie, you can complain about a lot of these folks, Jasmine Crockett, you can complain about all these folks of being progressive. But what you cannot complain about them being is not real. They stick to their guns. Maybe I shouldn't say that word. They stick to their positions. Ha ha ha. And I see here, Anthony also says, I bought my parents a digital frame. Oh, so you know what I'm talking about, Anthony. I bought my parents a digital frame. I uploaded photos to it, so they'll always have photos from us. Digital frames are awesome. Put one up. Anthony Rowland, we have a Google Nest for that reason. I love having my favorite memories on rotation. It also keeps my dad close. Yeah. You want to remember someone that passed away, someone that was dear to your heart? Put their photos on a beautiful framed rotation. They always live with you. Hannah says, we have a digital frame in a few rooms in the house I live. Yes. The digital frames, y'all, get with it. It changes your decor. Coming from an interior designer, besides being a photographer, I am an interior designer. I can even give you brands to work with. But I'm telling, even they have what's called mirror frames. You put the mirror frames, but you can also, those are mirror frames, but when you turn them on, they can become picture frames. Upgrade your house and show off your work. Bryson says, y'all in Atlanta, please get out and vote and show up and show out. All you Atlanteans. It looks like I'm going to be in Atlanta in December. Is looking more like I'm being in Atlanta in December. So I can't wait to go see my buddies in Atlanta. Kimmy says we definitely need results like that during the voting cycle. Yes, we need landslides. We need an earthquake today. Democrats, y'all, I'm not a Democrat, but I vote Democrat, but I'm not a Democrat by paper yet. Because I'm thinking, I got to be part of something. I used to be a Republican, but I think I may have to just cross over all the way and become a Democrat because my vote counts in primaries. When you're an independent, you can't get involved in the primaries in a lot of places, especially New York. Jazzy says, power is a hell of a drug. Watch how people move. Man, you ain't lying about that. Right, says y'all have until 8 o'clock tonight. Yes, we do. And then Zaron will be the winner tonight. I do believe so. I do believe Zaron will win. Hannah says, I love the moving photos constantly, changing the feel of your room. Feel it? Yeah. So we're talking about interior design. We're also talking about photography, art. Make your home look beautiful. Use those frames. You can even do it on your computer screens, monitors, screensavers. And Dr. Touch, hey, first of all, Indie Soup is in the house, y'all. Indie Soup Media is in the house. And if I must plug, I should plug right now. I'm plugging in for Indie Soup Media. We are on Indie Soup Media. If you do miss us live at 11 o'clock, from 11 o'clock to 12:15, if you miss us, you can always catch us at 4 o'clock on Indie Soup Media. That's where we repeat. Most of the time, it's one, I say 99, I can say Dr. Todd, it's about 95% of the time, it's going to be the thing, the show that you saw earlier, unless Ron forgets. Unless he forgets to send it to Dr. Tachi. The Dr. Tachi is always on top of it. And not only am I on Indie Soup, Gwendolyn's on Indie Soup. Chris, I think, is still on Indie Soup. I think he has one show on Indie Soup. And then there's so many amazing people on Indie Soup that you could be listening to throughout the day. You can turn this off after, like I should say, like after we finish, and you go right into Indie Soup and then look at all the people on there. So check out Indie Soup. Did I do good? Did I do good, Dr. Tachi? And speaking of Dr. Tachi, she says, "Good day, everyone." Yeah, I know we spend a lot of time in our greetings, right? Because our greetings feed our information. Jazzy says, "I'm sorry, Bernie is not a AOC or a Jasmine Crockett. Just yesterday, he did an opt as he does before every election, disparaging the Dems." Really? Did Bernie do that? Well, the Dems are a problem. I'm with Bernie a lot of times when it comes to the Dems. But the Dems, you can't sweep them under with you can't just use a one what do you call it, one shade brush for everybody in the Democrat Party. The old guard is a fight for the Democrat Party right now. There is a silent civil war going on in the Democrat Party. The old guard against the new, the youngers against the olders, the establishment, as we call them, the establishment. Those people that are in the establishment that are also, you have the same sponsors as the Republicans, and they get their money from the same people. They get the same sponsors. And that's why some folks say we can't tell a difference. But I am proud of the Democrats right now because they are holding the ground. They should never move. Do not negotiate with the Republicans as in saying, "Oh, you give in now and we'll help you later." No, they tried that trick before. That did not go well when Chuck, Mr. Schumer, yielded the first time. You must never yield when you are the minority party and you have a card in your pocket, like a get out of jail card, and hold the majority to the rails. You are the minority party. You don't have much to work with. So you better work with the little that you have. So Democrats, hold the line. Healthcare is important. And people in the Democrat Party need to be preaching this every day, all day. We are doing this for your health care. We are not signing off until they change that big, ugly bill and put in concessions for health care. I know, I'm on a roll today. I just feel like I'm very talkative today, y'all. This is voting day. It's election day. This is what you're voting for. It's so important. Vote, 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 says Kaz. Yes. Arlesia's in the building. What's up, Arlesia? She says, good morning. Anthony says, my website homepage has a 9-photo rotation of my work. Photographers, get on it. Get your work out there. Look at your work. Share your work. Give work away. She says, yes, I'm excited about this next season of work. Dr. Tachi says, you did fabulously. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. I must get approval from the powers that be. And Aya is in the building. She says, Grand Rising Ron and everyone, touch base daily. Okay, make sure you hit the likes because the algorithms, well, we are slaves to the algorithms. Well, not exactly slaves to the algorithms, but we need the algorithms to be in our favor. We need the algorithms. Okay, so here we go. Kimmy Kim says, when you are trying to accomplish a change, we don't have time to disparage the ones who could help us. If you don't have nothing nice to say, be quiet. True, unless you are encouraging them for better. But yes, I agree with you, Kimmy Kim. I agree. But I do believe some people need a kick in the pants, politically wise. You gotta give them a good kick. So Democrats, I love you, but get it together. And don't eat your own. Don't eat your own. Okay, Dr. Taji says, what did Bush Jr. say? We do not negotiate with terrorists. And the MAGA party is not officially, but they act like a terrorist party. Speaking of terrorists, this morning, I do believe it was this morning, former Vice President Cheney passed away at the age of, I do believe, 84. A complicated vice president, a complicated kind of man, a complicated person that served in our government. There's lots of stories about Dick Cheney, good and bad. Many consider him the architect of the Iraq War. And a lot of people hate him for it. A lot of people also saw him gain some wealth because of that war when he was, I do believe, part of Halliburton. So, yeah. But then you saw him come on to the side of his daughter, one of his daughters is part of the LGBTQ family. And then his other daughter is and was in government. And he came to her aid. And as he came to her aid, he also endorsed Kamala Harris, which was unthinkable for a Republican, a dynasty Republican like Dick Cheney, to switch parties in voting for the Democrat. Complicated. Aren't we human beings complicated creatures? That always reminds me, we can always grow. We can always change. Jazzy says, Bernie is an independent who has co-opted the Democratic Party to utilize resources while also disparaging them. Yes, the Dems have a lot of work to do, but Bernie is not the answer. Well, Jazzy said that one. I agree, to a point. To a point. I think Bernie has a place in the Democrat. I know he's an independent. And I understand why he's an independent. But I do agree that he may not be the voice of reasonings a lot of times, because you need a Democrat to stand up. You need a Democrat to give them a kick in the pants. But yeah. But I do believe in a lot that Bernie says about Democrats. They need to get it together. G says, folks have been sharing the ridiculous increases in insurance costs. It's insane. If the Democrats do not hold the line, I don't know if you've already seen some of your policies, right? They've already released the policies and the fact and the thought that it's not going to happen, no changes. But a lot of insurances have, at the minimum, have gone up 4 times of what you were paying before. 4 times minimum. Some have been increases have been up to 10 times of what people were paying for their insurance. And it's gotten so expensive that most employers, or some of them, I should say some of the employers, are saying we can't afford to give insurance to our employees. And if we do give them insurance, then they're going to have a higher deductible. Now, I don't know if you know, like if you're from the old school, like I am, when I was younger, the deductible used to just be $1,000. It used to be I remember when it was only $500. Your deductible at work was $500. That was back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Then it went to 1,000. I know some people have deductibles that are $5,000. You pay $5,000 on your own, and then the insurance will kick in. And then they also use the 80-20% rule. I'm always talking about the 80-20. But the 80-20 rule in insurance, we will pay for 80%, but you pay for 20. Yes. We need a whole system overall of our healthcare. Aya says, for auto insurance, you may want to check with AAA, which offers discounts for auto insurance. I don't know anything about auto insurance because I haven't had it in so long. Dr. Tachi says, I agree. However, now it is not the time to kick. It needs to be unified front, just like the sons of the demonic order, Thugglicans have been doing. I agree with you, Dr. Tachi. But I do believe I think you have to tell the truth. The Democrats need to be pushed, but no indictments. How about that? No indicting the Democrat Party, but they do need to be pushed. They need to be pushed to do the right thing. Bryson said, yeah, 84 years old. He passed away today. She says there is too much money in the country for folks to not have a living wage, affordable housing, and affordable health care. If America can send 40 billion, was it 40? Is it a B? Is it $40 billion to Argentina? 40. Do you know what 40 billion can do for the American people? Priorities are all messed up. I could go deeper into that story, but I won't do it. Kimmy Kim says affordable care was a step in the right direction, but they did not get a chance to improve it. Bernie does that every time. At this point, it feels like an agenda. Jazzy says, in what way would you like for the Dems to push? I want them on advertisements. I want them because the media is not giving them their fair showing on the networks of what the Democrats are doing. The Democrats are going to have to just go on every single platform online, go on TikTok, make videos, talk to them. I know there are people doing it, but they got to do it, and they got to just keep doing it over and over and over again. I don't think they're doing it enough. I would love to see the Democrats everywhere. There should be, as you're riding down the highway in Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, there should be billboard signs all over the South, all over the red states. We are doing this for you. Yes, you may not vote for us, but we still care for you. We care about you. Big billboards. This is my opinion. The Democrat Party has enough money to do it. Do it. Oh, That's just my opinion. She says he's just like George Clooney, either be part of the solution or STFU. Ooh, I'm not going to ask what that STFU stands for. Being that it ends with an FU, oh, I wonder what it stands for. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued, Gwendolyn. Kathy said, I'm curious on your thoughts. Yeah, that's my thoughts. My thoughts: pay for advertisements on the Southern state channels. I don't care what the cost is. Even if the St. Clairs of the South make the numbers astronomical, you still have to get your message out there. He who repeats the message over and over and over again gets the acknowledgement, even when it's wrong. Why do you think Trump is so successful? The orange one, we call him, I start calling him Cankles. Mr. Cankles. What do you think? Why do you think Mr. Kanks is so, he says the same lie over and over and over and over and over again? Repetition. Repetition. You have to keep repeating your message. Marketing 101, advertising class 101. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Lisa says MTG is on the View. She sounds totally different. Has she changed, evolved, or is it trickery? Well, we know we have this whole study with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but there's some political commentators. She was also on Bill Maher this week. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, I am a believer that people can have a come to Jesus moment. I do believe it. We once were lost and now we're found. I don't know how to sing that song because I know the creation, why that song was created. Amazing Grace. It's one of the only songs that is used in all the KKK events. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. If you know the history behind that, it's interesting history behind that song. But MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she sees the writing on the wall. Trump, Cankles, can't live forever. He ain't gonna be around forever. And we don't know if it's dementia, but we see signs of it. He is losing his mental capacity every day. You see decline every week. She knows MAGA is a following, a cult following. When Cankles is no longer around, what happens to MAGA? It won't survive. There is no one to take his place. Because when a cult following dies, or the leader of the cult dies, it's over. So there's some people in the Republican Party, or I should say MAGA Party, because it's not Republican any longer, they see the writing on the wall. They know the day is getting closer. And look what's happening around America right now. The red states, as slow as it may take for them to wake up, they are going to wake up at some point and realize this dude has done them great harm. Once the leader is dead and gone and moved on, or he's on a wheelchair or in a hospital somewhere, and whatever happens to this man, the cult will wake up. Like Jim Jones, like all the other cults that have been around. Remember the Waco people? What happened to the Waco people? The Waco people are gone. You don't see it. Do you ever hear about the Waco people again? Jim Jones, when they drank the Kool-Aid, that was it. It was over. Cults die. They can't live past their cult leader. I think MTG, my opinion, MTG sees the writing on the wall. Just my opinion. Just my opinion there. Um, affordable care with step by direction. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me catch up to you guys. Oh, I got a little lost there. Okay, there we go. Cass says, yes, if have membership with some places they provide and or have access to reduce insurances if members, example AARP and New York Life, etc. G says, and most folks only have a full-time job to simply get health care. This is very true in America. Most people work just to get health care. If we had a legit healthcare system, can you imagine what work people would be creating and contributing? Very true. Jetty said, so let's break that down. How would they go about it if conservatives own mass media? Social media is not going to reach everyone. I also believe that they should be in the streets. I also believe they should be holding town halls like they were doing. And I'm a believer of the town hall. I am a believer that if the Democrats get out and get the messaging out, it will be heard. Now, will it be received by 100% of the red folks? No. But all you need is a percentage. Just my, from my political followings. Jay says, so let's break it down. Okay, got that one. Got that. Okay, got it. This is a good conversation. I love having a conversation with you guys. Dr. Tyson, exactly. It can't be the same ones doing always on social media, talking about the problems all the time, like Jasmine Crockett and the other people who are taking to social media everywhere, everyone. There needs to be all of them. They all need to rise up as stars. Yes, Dr. Tachi. It cannot be just 5, 6, 7 people. It has to be all of them. Get off your, I know if you're an introvert, forget your, think about the people. Yes, you got to get out there. You got to get out there. You got to repeat. Whew. Oh, is that what the, that's what the STFU stands for. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa's always giving me some education. She always breaks it down for me. Thank you, Lisa. Yes. Dr. Tachi says, since you're a photographer, Ron, STFU stands for set the frame up. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Yes, indeed. I was like, oh, well, I don't know. I know that one, but I don't know the other one. But now I've been educated. Dr. Tachi says, everyone 100% must speak of regularly on social media. They can do it free on there. Jazzy says, the clown is violating the Hatch Act, and he has systems in place to do so without consequences. This is why the people have to rise. The country, the Constitution says, we the people. We the people. GR says, she ain't met the good Lord. Cut that BS out. You don't think she had a come to Jesus moment? Maybe she did. Oh gosh. Y'all always call me out. Y'all call me out on everything. Jazzy says, MTG has not changed. She's going into an election year. You notice how the clown has not said a thing about her. Pay attention. Pay attention. Thank you. Thank you, Jazzy. Jazzy's so engaged. I just love it. Jazzy and I can go on. Jazzy's a great person to spar with when it comes to politics and just everyday life. So again, don't miss out on Gwendolyn and Jazzy's conversation. Gwendolyn, if you could put your information on if you could put the link in, I'll just copy and paste it. Of your or you put it in the private because you have access. I think you put it in private chat. You can do it. I think you can. That way I can share your event that's coming up. I do believe it's Friday. Is it Friday? With Miss Jazzy. Okay, so let me get time. Look at the time. It's time for class, right? It's almost time for class. Oh, it's time for class. We gotta get into class now, y'all. It is time for some photography. GR Houston Jeff says, if we believe MTG has changed, then I have 2 bridges in Brooklyn for sale. You cannot sell the Brooklyn Bridge and you cannot sell the Manhattan Bridge. Next, Kimmy Kim says, she needs a break from Congress. No one should vote for her MTG until she proves herself to be true. I'm with you, Kimmy. Cassie says, my home church pastor did not approve of that song in church when attended there. Yes, if you knew the story behind Amazing Grace, yes, that's a whole other. Look it up. I just encourage you to learn the history of Amazing Grace, the words in the Amazing Grace, and how it happened and where it came from while the man was on a slave ship. Anyway, hint, slave ship. Dr. Tachi says, I don't believe Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me go back. I don't believe Margarine Taylor Greed and her tap dance act for one moment. Rubbish. She says they don't need Mr. Tango to continue doing what they want to do. Okay, make sure you hit the likes. I'm gonna go into class here. We need to go into class. I just want to make sure you get. You guys are just. Hey, Elise is in the building. Hey, good morning, Jazzy. She says, and good morning. Oh man, you guys are just the best. I just wish we could have like a whole room and everybody just hangs out and talk. I just love when you guys chime in. And let me sure I got everybody in there. Jazzy says, haha, I used to work with lawyers and they said I should become one. You should, Jazzy, you are a a great spar buddy. I'll never forget the time we were in our go brunch and we were sitting there having our sparring. I was like, I learned a lot from Jazzy Jazz. The great thing about political sparring is that you learn other people's perspective and you can grow. It is important to spar. Sparring is good. A good debate helps you grow. Love a good debate. Elise says she has not changed. She is preparing to run for the Senate in 2026. Stay alert, y'all. Stay alert. She says, oh yeah, Ron and Jazzy have had moments. I've been there. I love a good sparring. I love a good debate. It's how people say, Ron, how do you know so much? I like sparring. Well, it was so funny. We were out to breakfast this weekend on Sunday, and we were talking about, well, the sermon when the pastor was talking about, and when you get to a certain age, you learn to just not try to prove your point so much. When you're younger, you're like, oh my God, I gotta prove this point. I gotta prove my idea. I have to make sure my idea is explained and taken in. And if I don't get it explained, if they don't get it, I will stay here as long as until they just become enlightened and lose, or somehow the ignorance will just flow from their bodies. When you're young, you fight for every piece of information you know, whether it's wrong or right, but in your head, you are right. And then when you turn that 50 mark, I think it's the 50s. I think it really is the 50s. And maybe a leader, somebody in the building that's 50 or older can tell me. 40, you start to get a glimpse of it. But in the 50s, when you turn 50, it's like, I am not wasting my time with you. I've made my point. Here's my facts. Take it or leave it. And you walk away. You're not debating. You're not spending hours debating on something that you already know. and lived? No. So you change as you get older. You pick your battles wisely. Anthony says, I'm 46. I don't care anymore. It's exactly. It starts to happen in the 40s. When you turn 40, it's like the bells go off. Bing, 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 bing. And that I will never forget when Madonna was being interviewed by Oprah, I remember it to this day. And Oprah says, "How do you feel about turning 40?" She says, "I don't give a about people's opinions." When you turn 40, it's a liberation. And it just gets better and better. You can care less about how people feel about anything. You just know what you know. And it just starts rolling off people's opinions. There's freedom in age. I love it. She says, I've been in my zero fudge to give reasons for a long time. I'm telling you, it started long. I tell you, when I turned 40, that's when it all began. I'm an old soul I used to be an old soul in a young body. I've always been old. Lisa says, era of it, okay, just okay, people arguing. Yeah, I don't like arguing. No waste of time. Jazzy says, I was telling my friend that the other day. Yeah, as you get older, the facts are the facts, and you move on. Like Mimi says, facts. Kimmy says, so true, Ron. Jazzy says, I've learned a lot for sure. Sparring is good. A good debate is wonderful. It helps us grow. Okay, it's time for our class. It is class time, y'all. And this is going to be a quick class. Photo series ideas. That's what we're talking about. The topic is photo series ideas. What do we mean by that? As photographers, or you want to create something beautiful, something with a theme. It's all about creating themes. One of the things I have to do as I'm now beginning to take time to put this book together is that I have to go through all of my work and look for themes. I have more than probably 1 million photos to go through. And I have to look for themes. So this is inspiration for today. Look for, in your photography, photo series ideas. What I mean by that? You might want, here we're talking about the world in blue. So you say, this week, this month, I'm going to focus on everything that's blue. I'm going out to the streets. I'm looking for blue signs. I'm looking for blue buildings. I'm looking for the blue sky. I'm looking for blue flowers. I'm looking at the blue ocean. I'm looking at the blue hat. I'm looking for the blue bike. I'm looking for everything about your series is blue, which we talked today. But it could be red. It could be yellow. It could be purple. It could be green. It could be neons. One of my buddies who wrote a book on architecture, his book is up here, Mr. Ian Reed, taught me when I'm out in the streets doing our street photography to look for themes. So on 4th of July last year, we went out and he says, what's your theme today? I was like, I'm just shooting. I'm just photographing. He's like, no, dude, bro, you got to think about themes. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I like to photograph old signage. So as we're doing our street photography, I think we met somewhere at Grand Central Station, and then we walked all the way down to Battery Park. And that whole strip we just photographed. Well, he photographed, and he got me into it. Signs, old and new signs. He says, because these old signs are going to be gone as those buildings are destroyed. We will never see these signs again. I said, "Oh, you have a good point." Or we will see a building that was torn down, and you have a ability to see where that building was, and you could see the windows of the buildings that were behind it, and maybe the signage. And then he says, when that building is replaced, no one will ever see these signs again. No one will ever see those windows again. I said, Ian, you're onto something. And then he told me about how he puts his book together. He puts together series. He looks for series that are in his repertoire, his portfolio. Something I had never thought about until last year when I was hanging out with my buddy Ian Reed, who's an amazing photographer, who has been in the front lines in Ukraine, photographing the Ukraine-Russian war, photographing all over the world. And he spent time with me 4th of July, walking the streets of New York, and he taught me about photo series. You should always be thinking in series as a photographer. So here we are. Now that I've had a year to contemplate on this whole topic, I can share it with you. So here we go. Today, we are going to talk about photo series ideas. Again, you could just do it. It could be whatever. Bikes. I'm just going to photograph bikes this month or this year. I'm just going to photograph roses. I'm just going to photograph flowers. Whatever your series is, create your series and you'll be surprised what you come up with. Photo series ideas. Today, the world in blue. Color story theme blue. Why blue? Blue evokes, this is our theme today, blue evokes serenity, depth, and introspection. It's found in nature, urban life, and abstract textures, making it a versatile and emotionally resonant color to explore. Like I said, you can do this with other colors if you like, but today we're talking about blue. Let's capture a cohesive series of 5 to 10 images that explore the color blue in different contexts. So this week, here's your mission. We always have a mission each week. Photograph in blue. Or if blue is not your color, find a color and photograph everything in that color. Here we go. Nature's blues. Ocean waves, lakes or rivers, blue skies at different times of day. The sky keeps changing blues. The blue flowers like hydrangeas, or cornflowers. I always have a problem with that word. Even though I love those flowers, I have them in my house. Urban blues. Another one, urban blues. Painted doors, walls, or graffiti. That's one in the urban setting. 2 in the urban setting. Neon signs or LED lights at night. The blue hour. Blue-toned reflections in glass or puddles. I love walking the streets of New York after a good rain. Any questions along the way? If you have questions, put them in there. Make sure you put Q and then put the question in, and then I can answer them along the way. Make sure you do that. Make sure you hit the likes, though. If you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Okay, the next one. Here's another one. I thought about Gwendolyn with this one. Fashion and fabric. Denim textures, like the jeans you wear. The different types of denim. Blue accessories or clothing in motion. That's number 2. Number 3, contrast between blue and skin tones. Right? Blue. So not only can you do a series on the color blue, but you can go in a sub topic of blue. So these are subtopics that will help you. Fashion and fabrics, urban settings, nature in blue. All of these are blue categories that you could be using in your next series. Next one, mood and minimalism. Well, you know, I love mood and I love minimalism. Abstract composition with blue shades or lighting. 2, monochrome still life setups using blue objects. Like I remember I was saying earlier, go to the beach, throw a blue sweater on the sand, take a picture. Blue. Here's another one. Use negative space to emphasize emotion. Like you see there's negative space around this lantern, and you see the blue light from the blue hour, and then the gold light from the lantern. Create some mood. It's minimalistic, but it's also moody. Simplicity, we learn in interior design, is beauty. Simplicity is beauty. Don't try to be like Kinkles with the White House and put gold everywhere and all these fillers and all that stuff. Simplicity is beauty. Next, the unexpected blues. The unexpected blues. Blue in food, like berries, drinks, and packaging. Blue, number 2, blue in signage or typography. 3, accidental blue moments. Example, a blue balloon floating in the sky. This makes me think about a photo opportunity that I missed probably now 10 years ago. And it still plagues me to this day. I was at the Halloween parade, and there was this dude dressed as a clown. You know how I feel about clowns. Don't like clowns. But he was standing in the middle of the road, and the streets were empty. There was the steam from the grids of the city streets behind him, rising in the background. He had a red and white shirt, clown shirt. He had a big red nose with big red lips. And he had a black pair of pants with big giant black shoes. And in his hand, that stretched out just a little bit above him on a string, he stood in the middle of the street, and he held a beautiful traditional red balloon. And I did not take the picture because I was looking for perfection. I said, I can't take this photo with my smartphone. I need to get my other camera out. It was the best lesson I ever learned, and it still plagues me to this day. The unexpected, something accidental, something that just wasn't in the plan. And every time I think about a balloon, I think of that moment, that one lost moment of a photo that was probably going to be priceless because it was in my head and I did not photograph it. Don't be like that. Don't worry about your devices. Take the picture, whether it's your smartphone or your big camera, your point and shoot. Take the shot in the moment. Stop looking for perfection. It was the biggest lesson to this day. I still am plagued by that moment. Don't look for perfection. There is no perfection. Just take the shot. Anyway, unexpected blues, unexpected, unexpected scenes. Take the picture. Here's some tips. Tips for shooting a blue themed series. Use white balance creatively. Adjust it to enhance or cool down the blue tones. For we who have the ability to change our white balance, I did this when I was in London. It was a beautiful blue hour evening, and everything along the Thames, or I think it's the Thames, the waterway, and all the bridges had their beautiful incandescent lights flickering. And then there was a guy selling in his van with this beautiful golden light inside the van. And then I turned up my white balance and made it more blue so that the oranges and the yellows could pop. So use your white balance accordingly. You can use it as a creative tool. You don't have to always just go with the white balance. You can move that needle a little bit towards more blue and make the picture a little more exciting, a little more interesting. Number 2, and you know how I feel about this one. Shoot at blue hour. Can I repeat it again? Shoot at blue hour. What is the blue hour? The blue hour is the hour after the sun sets. We have the golden hour an hour before the sun sets, before it goes below the horizon. But as soon as the sun dips below the horizon, you are now in the blue hour. And what did we talk about before about the blue hour? The blue hour, anything that's golden, like lights and architecture and incandescent lighting or halogen lighting, all the lighting, but really the incandescent lighting, which is like has that yellow hue, makes photos look amazing. Blue hours for architecture, structures, minimalism. Use and shoot at the blue hour. Just before sunrise or after sunset for a naturally rich blue light. We're talking blue, y'all. We're talking about blue. Next, limit other colors. Keep the palette tight to let blue dominate the frame. It should be everything should be blue. Blue, blue. If that's your theme, blue. Next, look for texture. Blue works beautifully with rough surfaces like denim, rust, or peeling paint. Think about it. Think about this. And the last but not least, tell a story. Tell a story. You have a smartphone in your hand, tell your story. You have a big Canon, Nikon, Fuji, full frame, cropped. You have a camera, tell your story. Sequence your images to evoke a mood. Start with calm, move to vibrant, end with introspective. Man, this is good information. I hope you're taking it in, y'all. I hope you are taking it in. This last part is the key to everything we just talked about. Tell a story. Sequence your images to evoke a mood. What are you trying to create? What do you want people to feel when they see this photo? Start with calm. Move to vibrant. And end with introspective, causing your audience to reflect and to think. I think we got it all. Any questions? Any Q&A? Any Q&A? We got a moment for Q&A. Any questions? We're 1 minute over, but we can stay a little longer. Mm, yeah. Did you guys get that? Kimmy's got hands up. Kimmy says, "Oh, we got it. You got it." Look, can I use my book as a? Can I use my book as a prop? It has. You can see that I photographed this at the in Iceland, and you see the blue hour. One is in Iceland, the blue hour lasts for so long. It's not just 1 hour. The blue hour lasts a long time. So this is at midnight. I photographed this eruption at midnight. But you see the contrast of the blue against the fiery orange of the lava? Yeah, look at that. You see what I'm talking about? The different levels of blue. Look at the blue. Look at this. The blues, the clouds, the high level clouds. But then you get that beautiful orange, the blue. Use your talents. Use everything you have to create great pictures. There you have it. Bryson says, gotta love it. Jazzy says, great information. Anthony, we got our experienced photographers in the room. Anthony says he applauds, he approves. Mimi says, great pick. Yes. Cass says, listening in. What are some ways to put together visual storytelling via photos and videos? Also, how to store pics/video in one place. Well, first of all, for most of us, we have our digital devices, right? So we can clear out our memory. I always do backup memory as well through my Google Photos. So I have Google Photos on my phone so that when I take pictures, it's being backed up, all my photos, right? Every click is backed up. So that's one way of storing your photos. And also in your phone, you have the ability to create folders. So you can put in your phone some of the things that you love to do, some of the things you like to photograph. You can put a folder that says berries. You can put a folder that says blue. You can put a folder that says green, yellow, red. You can say, if you like bikes, a folder with bikes. And every time you take a photo of one of those subjects, you plop it into one of those folders in the category. So then over time, you begin to see your series. That's one way. That's how you tell your story. That's how you also do it with video, right? All your foods. Yeah, let's say you photograph food or videotape food. Have a food folder. You can say foods at restaurants, foods at fast foods as snacks, foods, and just keep listing them on and create folders around that. So you put the big folder says food and then a subfood subjects and divide it up. Because every broad topic has to be divided or should be, right? And I think I answered also how to store. So we got the store pics, videos in one place, so you know that. And then if you are creative, you can also use this one separated here. Let me just pop this out. I have what we call external drives. This is an old one, but we have external drives. This hooks to my camera. I should say my computer, and can also hook to my my phone. So I can back up. I can take all my pictures off my phone and put them on here. Right? There you go. External drives. And now, I mean, this one is old. The new external drives, you can get like 4, 5 terabytes in something smaller than I just had in my hand. The size of a card, your credit card, and put it in your wallet. And then that frees up your memory in your phone. Make sure you back it up in 2 places or 3. Redundancies are important when saving your photos. Put them in 3 places. I am always backing up my photos and most things that are important to me in 3 places. I have my external drive, I have my Google Cloud, and I have my OneDrive cloud. That way, I am not without my photos. If Google goes down, I will have OneDrive. If OneDrive goes down, I have my Google. Okay, I see more questions. I see more. Oh, you guys are engaging. I love it. I love it. Alisa says, I am still visualizing the clown story. This says, Ron, I think you should use photos that you are not using in the calendar or Flamingo. Stock photos to start promoting your calendar. People will be buying Christmas gifts, and your calendar should be an option. My calendar will be available this Friday. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, and I do have other photos. That's a good idea. Use the photos I'm not using, put them out there into the world. Put them on Pinterest. Link them to the calendar. I like that. Lisa, you know how you get my marketing brain going. Lisa has so many ideas. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Kat says, it starts that way. Now then can go back and do the rest when things slow down. That's right. Go back. Slow down. Go back and get it done. Mimi says, what is the brand of the new external drives? Oh, you can use SanDisk. As a matter of fact, let me show you some. I was going to show my Don Lemon, but we went a different route today. But I'm going to show you some of these. Hold on a second. External, because you should all have external drives. You should all have external drives. Here we go. For your phone. And I'm going to show you some of them. How about that? Because this is so important. Share screen. So these are a bunch of them. So nowadays you have like this one. Can I pop the screen up, make it bigger? Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is the one that's like the size of a credit card. I mean, when I've got the same size, it was 1 terabyte years ago. Now you can get 4 terabytes on this one card. Yeah, it costs $300, but guess what? I travel with many of them, so I have like 3. I have 3, and I back up everything in 3, and then I take one, put it in my wallet. The other one goes in my backpack, and the other one goes in my luggage. Technology is amazing. I mean, think about this. What this thing is this. Where are my cards? The cards. Hold on a second. What? Oh, I have them right here. Hold on. Here's my cards right here. I'll be on the road next week, so I'll have my cards out and ready to go. Here they go. I'll tell you, they're right here. These are my. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Now, I try to get them in different colors because then I know what information I might put in something that's may not be in all of them. So I have 3. And you can put these on a keychain. Look at that. You see that little guy right there? You can put them on a keychain. These are all from SanDisk. I love these from SanDisk. Now, there are others out there, but SanDisk has been faithful to me. I have not had a damaged external hard drive ever. So far, so good. And I've been using these babies for a long time. And but there's even more. Like you see here, here's some more. There's more. Here's another one. Hard disk. Here's one. 16 terabytes. Oh, what's that about? 30 terabytes, 16 terabyte. Gotta figure out what that's about. And this is the one the early one I showed you was a Seagate. That's the one I showed you, my big one. And then you have 128 terabytes. I mean, look at there's so many external drives out there you could use. But I love SanDisk. SanDisk is my favorite. And you can get them at Best Buy. You can get them at, I think you can get them at Staples, and you can get them a couple places. But it's my, I mean, Sandus is my favorite, like I said. But there's many of them. There's many wherever works for you. Look at that. Look at all of these look at all of these external drives. And you can clear out your phones. One of my buddies, his we laughed because he was trying to upload some photos. He couldn't get the photos upload because he has so many photos on his phone. It took him a weekend to clear it out. You don't have to do that. At the end of every month, you should be taking your photos off your phone, the things that you don't need or things that are very important to you, and put them on your external drives. You see how I number mine also? This is number 2. This one doesn't have a number, but this one is number 1. You see, I number them. I'm all about the organization. Now, I'm not as organized as Gwendolyn is, but I am still an organizer. Gwendolyn she's got me beat on so many levels, but I'm still about being organized because I can't function in when things are in disarray. I can't. I have to have everything organized. Good question, Mimi. That was a good question. Good job. Okay. Cass says, I recall when you did it for the music too. Yep, for music. I'm about storage. Lisa says, since you have an iPhone now, you also have your iCloud. And I do. However, my iCloud, I fill it up all the time. So my iPhone. Yeah. Mimi says, great point. Cass says, nice, always good to get New Year calendar. Yeah, okay. And I'm about the calendar. I just have my buddy and I working on our calendars. Lisa says, yes, don't use the real photos because people will just copy them. I need to buy an external drive, says Kimmy Kim. Yes, you do. Tech has really improved, says Dr. Tachi. And Lisa says, I have a big orange goofy one. I need to get one like yours. Look, the tiny ones now, you can put them in your wallet. Literally, you can put that in your wallet. Seagate has been good to me too. Yes, the first one I showed you, I have two Seagates right down here, like the one that's portable, and then I have a Seagate that's like stays in my office. Okay, see here. Kimmy says, I believe you said you have an Amazon store link. Yes, I do. If you go to if you go to the end of all these videos, I don't talk about it, but if you go to all of these stories at the end, it says Amazon link. All of this stuff is in my Amazon store. I know. I never promote it. I should, but I don't. But yes, so you can go there. I don't remember the term, but how do we get into your store or support you and products you recommend? So if you go, so if you go into our page, let me see if I can get this up here. Since you guys have good questions. Okay, gonna go in there now. And usually, so this is the page. This is our page. Okay, let me move that and put something else there. Okay, oops, stop sharing. And here we go. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. So good lessons. We got some good lessons here. We're on the internet, so we could keep it going as long as we want. So this is my page on YouTube, right? But if you go to any of these pages, like any of these stories, at the end, especially usually on these stories here, let me go to the story for today. No, not story today. Let's go for one yesterday. Okay, so this is in the story. So I'm going to cut that off. But if you go into the stories, they all have descriptions. Now, I'm just going to show you as if I'm editing because I am in my own page. So this is what I usually do. So I have to edit. And then at the very bottom, if you go into my page, is it on this? It should be here. The StreamYard. Where is it? What did it remove? Okay, I got to put it back. I guess it wasn't. It used to be located in here. Ron Lewis, subscribe, website, connect to Touchbase Daily. Okay, I need to set that back up again. It used to be there. I know it's definitely in my link tree, but I'll set it up on my Amazon again on my page. So, but usually it's right in here somewhere, right? You can just focus on it and you can just go to that page. So I will make sure that the link to my Amazon page, if I go to Amazon, you can see that. Hold on a second, Amazon. We'll be giving some little lessons here. So let me see if you can go to my page in Amazon, because believe it or not, I am a Amazon influencer. That's what they call it, influencers on Amazon. I just don't use it. I need to be more proactive about it. And it usually has it listed here, my accounts. There we go. And let's see, and I'm going to show it to you guys in a moment if I can find it. The only thing about Amazon, it just has so many things listed, and it's hard to find stuff. There's so many things on their page. Here we go. Gifts, Prime, Logan, Amazon, Family, Amazon Business, Customer Service, your list, your payment, your address, your orders. Whew, they don't make it easy. They keep changing it around where it goes. Digital. Okay. Believe me, it will be there, though. I will put the actual link there. Yeah, but it's in a different place. Shopping programs and rentals, Amazon, third party. Okay, that's too much information to go through. Just go, if you just go to my store, you just go there. It'll be there. I'll link it, and you'll have it. Whew. Okay, that's enough sharing of that, but it's definitely in there. That's a good question. That was a good one. Yep. I see here. Mimi says, yep, because you can't just leave in iCloud and people, because the cloud will start crying. Dr. Tice says, I have a Seagate and a Western Digital. Western Digital is another great company, but I tend to use my cloud storage much more because I have 8 terabytes. Yeah, 8 terabytes is more than enough. Cass says, great reflections and reminders today. Mimi says, hey, yes, Ron, you need to update store links. I do. I need to do that. Cass, educational, informative tip Tuesdays. Nice. Lisa says, and then we're going to get out of here. Lisa says, can we have a day with Tribe Share Day? Like maybe one Friday we can upload what we have going on in our world. Community supporting community. I like that. Good idea. You know what I'm going to say, Lisa? If you want to do it, you got to try it. You got to lead it. That means you'll be leading it, Lisa. Go to the storefront. And also says, Kimmy Kim says, actually found you found it. You found the link one time probably in Linktree, but once I'm in Amazon, I don't understand how to purchase using your link. I could see something and add to cart, but don't see how you get credit. No, if you click on the link, if you ever click on my link, it will automatically take you to the product. If you're in the store and you put the product up, it will take you straight to, there's a little signature embedded into the link that will link it to me if you happen to buy something. It's embedded. So you don't actually see it once you click on my link, it's embedded in everything else that's sold in that link, from that link. That makes sense. Bryson says, now you got Apple, you can do anything you want with it, and iPhone's got the best storage. And there you have it. Woo! You guys, we worked today. We worked today. We got some education in. We got some conversation in. That's why I love this community. If you are not from this community, make sure you join. Make sure you pop in and become part of the community. And also, make sure you join the email list. Just go to ronlewisphotos.com and join the email list. If you're looking for an event photographer, I am an event photographer, among other things, but I do event photography. Make sure you reach out. Also, thank you again for the Patreon members. This will be in the Patreon community. So this will be available to the Patreon community, this whole lesson, like all the other lessons. So check it out. If you're not a Patreon member, become a Patreon member by going to patreon.com, Ron Lewis Photos, and become a paying Patreon member. That way you can support what we do here. And last but not least, you're invited to join the YouTube channel, and also make sure you like and subscribe, especially if you're here for the first time. We welcome you here. Thank you for joining us. And Gwendolyn, did you put out your link for your interview with Jazzy? I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but I can get that up. I can't get that on the screen myself. I just need to go to G's apart. Goes to G. Gwendolyn Houston Jacques. Okay, here it is. Let's go into. It doesn't come up. It doesn't pop up immediately. Okay, Girl Listen. That's what it's under. It's under Girl Listen. Girl Listen. Maybe if I just put Girl Listen in there, it will come up. Girl Listen. Okay. I'm not seeing your advertisement there. Huh. It's on the coming. Anyway, let me just take you to Gwendolyn's page. That would be a better way to do it. You just go to her page. So let me show that to you as well. Okay. See, I need a producer. One day I'll have a producer. You think so? Maybe one day. Maybe I'll have a producer. That way we can have someone doing this while I'm talking to you. Okay. And but okay, so this is Gwendolyn's page. Girl Listen. Okay, I don't see the advertise. Usually it has it advertised. I usually see it there, but just so you know, it's there. Girl Listen. Oh, there it is. I found it. There we go. Hit notify me, and there she is. There's our wonderful Jazzy. If you've never seen Jazzy, now you know what she looks like. This is Jazzy Jazz with Jasmine Rice. Okay, so she'll be speaking with Gwendolyn, the perfect neighbor, policing power and white tears. Woo, that's going to be fun. So check it out and hit notifications. Okay, I just did not want to leave without supporting Gwendolyn and what she's doing. Okay, now we got it. There we go. We got it in, Gwendolyn. We got it in. I got it in. I figured it out. Okay, guys, have a great day. Enjoy the day. I'll be in New York City today, roaming around the streets of New York at some point later. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is our water cooler conversations. Let's talk about what's going on in the politics. We'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow. Go, Zoran. Go, Zoran. Go, Mikey. Go. I forgot Abigail. Is it Abigail in Virginia? Abigail. Let's go. Democrats. Let's go. Blue. Let's go. Let's win. See you tomorrow. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.